Hello everyone and welcome to this, my first blog post for the Association of Learning Technologists blog. I hope you enjoyed this. Just a few things to start off with. My name is Ian Wilson. I'm a senior lecturer at York St John University. I think you can see the Minster there in the background. Second thing I would like to say is that I apologise if my eyes tend to be flicking all over the place. It's because I don't have a teleprompter at the moment and I'm recording this at home, in my studio. So here we are. So let me just move the microphone slightly. Let's go for it, shall we? So I'll read it to you as best as I can, including subtitles. So first up, the preamble. So I'm a great believer in pushing boundaries and trying new things, being heavily involved or interested in technology, the world of live streaming and YouTube content. These are the areas that I'm constantly engaging with. The possibilities, I think, to support learning with these is well documented. However, when I was decided how I was going to keep in touch with and support the students that I work with when they were on placement, I left my comfortable area of live streaming in favour of podcasting. Being an avid blogger, I had often produced an audio version of my blog post, although the actual podcasting was quite new to me. I wanted the podcasts to be useful, informative, and provide some element of human or being humorous and being human as well. In essence, I wanted the students to recognise my own personalities within the podcasts, as well as the content being beneficial for them. I also wanted the podcast that is, to sound good. Technically, as in the quality, because I was aware from my own personal engagement with podcasts that if the quality was poor, the engagement probably would reflect that. I wasn't sure whether I would be making future podcasts, and I guess I could have just started with a microphone that I already had and the free software that I often use called Audacity. However, I always feel better about things if I have some decent equipment. So I invested in a Rode microphone and the Podcaster Pro. I was impressed by the quality of both of these, and I must say they made me feel quite professional, and the quality of the recordings were, even if I say so myself, quite good. As for the content, well, initially this was a blank page, but after a few emails to the students and some thinking on my walk to work, I came up with some segments that would be included in each episode. Number one, what the students should be doing during the following week. Number two, support them with their school-based tasks. Number three, answer any of their questions that they sent to me. Number four, a teaching idea that they might be able to use on placement. And number five, some sort of motivational advice. Every Friday, I managed to sit down with my Google Docs and write the script for the episode. Now, not being on camera would allow me to actually read from the script. And also, I didn't really want to spend too much time editing the podcast afterwards. It was definitely going to be a one-take podcast, unlike this video that has taken many takes. Well, after I'd written the script, I would record the podcast and get it published. Now, from an early email from a student, it appeared that some of them listened to the podcast on the way home from their placement. So I was always keen to have it up and live, ready for about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The Rodecaster Pro recorded well to Audacity, and since the buttons on it allowed me to play jingles as the show progressed, yes, I had jingles, I did have to do some limiting editing after the recording, but it was usually just a matter of some noise reduction and tidying up the beginning and the end. I didn't have a proper logo or anything, and I'm not that creative when it comes to Photoshop and Illustrator, so I just decided to use images of cute animals from the wonderful site pixabay.com. They are free under a Creative Commons license. So yeah, that just made the episode thumbnail a little bit more appealing. I already had an account with something called Audio Boom from when I used to record my blog posts from wilsonwaffling.co.uk, and if you are interested, then you can always press the QR code here and that will take it, yeah, even on the screen. You could do it now, it'll take you to my webpage. Yeah, so I already had an Audio Boom account, so I quickly added a playlist and for the 5-week duration made an episode every week. It's always important to look back over a pilot idea and assess how well it went. Now, even after the first episode had gone live, a few students emailed me to say thank you and to provide questions for the next episode. It was from these first emails that the further sections were added to the schedule. Overall, the feedback was positive. I acknowledged from the listening figures that not everybody was listening to it throughout the placement, but I was confident that the podcast was supporting some of the learners. One student informed me that they stored all the teaching ideas for future placements and that it was really beneficial to have the questions answered. Initially, the podcast was never meant to have positive impacts on the students' grades. If anything, the focus was more on supporting them and their well-being while they were away from university. And from the analytics and the positive emails, it was felt that this was achieved. I did wonder whether I should do a similar podcast for the first years while they were on placement, but time and energy at my age didn't really allow for this. I still have the equipment ready for my next go at podcasting, and I've already started to work on a new idea for the start of the new academic year. Will I do podcasts for next year's placement? Well, I think I will, if time allows, of course. I thought they were very useful and supported the general well-being of the students. You never know. I do a lot of live streaming in my part-time career, so I might even start to have a go on that. One thing I will continue to do is to engage with new technologies and in order to support the students, especially when they are working away from the university or learning at the distance. So just to finish off, to remind you that my name has been Ian Wilson. Well, it still is. My name is Ian Wilson. I'm Senior Lecturer at York St John University, hence the Minster. I hope you've enjoyed this, my first attempt as a blog post for this website. And let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see anything else from me, or if you have any questions. I would love to answer them. So until next time, please remember to be yourself and say what you think, because the people who mind don't matter and the people who matter don't mind. Have fun, and I will catch you all later. And until then, happy podcasting. See ya. Bye.